Hey everyone, welcome back to Griffin. We'll catch up with our used to be banker and his wife as they move in and get themselves established here at the farm. We've got lots to do today. It's shaping up as a busy day, but the first thing that we'll get started with, we were doing some mowing last time. And you might recall there's a big meadow opposite the main gate of the farm that belongs to us. And I'm pretty keen that that'll be quite a lot of work for this mower. So we'll get some help and get the mower started with sorting that out. And that can run around in the background and make do. Now, because it's not a defined field, we've really got a couple of choices on how to get it started. We can't just set the AI loose because that won't work. We can use Courseplay, which we can switch on using the delete key, and we'll find that there's no course, but if we click the circle, we could drive around an outline and in effect create the field. And all credit to long-time users, I understand, would know how to do that. It was new information to me, and I learnt that watching Scott Free-for-All the other day. The other method that I'm aware of, and there may well be more, is if we go in to the menu here and have a look at the work map, we'll find that we're on, and this is the field that we're talking about here. If we get out of the tractor, we get an option, because we're not associated with a vehicle, to draw a custom field. And so I'm going to do it that way because I'm not really sure what I want to end up. And so we'll select on the field, and so we put our mouse up near the corner. We can't come too close to the road because there is a fence there, but I can click a dot. Oops, that would help if I could draw. And by moving around the field with my right mouse button, I can get the shape that I want to cut. Now, in this particular case, this is quite a large field, and I only want to, for today, cut this side of it. So there's my field. I can save that, and it'll create the field for me. And assuming I've got it correct, now when I go back into my tractor and repeat the process, I can create a job to do some field work. We want to pick this field. Our target position is correct. We can open the course generator. Our work width, that feels right for this cutter. We will do 2 headlands, and then a little bit of overlap. We'll go up and down. I find with mowing, it often pays to start in the center. You can come back and check how it's going and then potentially finish the headlands yourself. and we don't have an island, so we're not going to. Oh, I should have left that as it was. Not doing lands. That should be good. So let's generate our course. Why did it not like it? No, let's bring build in a little. That's better. And now, so obviously what happened there was I was a bit close to the edge, it decided. So now we have our course, and we can start off. We'll let our worker sort themselves out, which looks like it's happening slowly. So it figures out where it's going to pick up the... Actually, it could have been the gates. So we might shut those, but we'll leave that to progress. Now, coming back, one thing, I've had the contractors in, like anything when you move into a new property, you get in, whether it's a house or, a farm, there's stuff that you decide that you want. And you might recall in the first episode, I talked about running some cattle. And so I've decided that we'll start out in that, but in particular targeting parts of the farm where we're not going to turn them into farmland. And so in that instance, put a fence in across the bottom and up the side here, and then placed one of the fenceless husbandries, which you can cows, which is here. They come in at $15,000, and so what I've been doing, the advantage of using these, you might say, well, why use those? Is if you position the fences first, they're about 16 by 20 panels, and make sure you've got a flat section to put the troughs. You can then turn off the toggle free mode, and you can place them and they won't change the underlying terrain, unlike most of the rest of the animal pastures, which try to create a flat area. And so that means you can take somewhere like this, and as you can see, we've got some undulations. It's a fenced field, and we can go ahead and put our cows in. And all I've done out the side here is put a little road, and we're good to go. So that will take 50 cows, which we'll sort out later in the day. I'm thinking at this stage beef, but also to start out a milk herd from scratch. And so I've started to, when I say from scratch, from calves, I've started to build the same here, and we'll put potentially the milk herd here. By starting with calves, I don't need milk from them straight away, and we can feed them hay just like we'll feed the beef, and not have to worry about TMR and the mixing equipment until later on. So if we've got time left in the day, we'll finish, and it costs us $15,000 for the husbandry, and then another 15,000 odd for the fencing and the gates, and probably 5,000 to sort of flatten the area where maybe not quite that much, but certainly it was some fun. So with that in mind, our next chore is to take this grain header back, because we're not going to use it. We don't have the time to do a grain contract. And also, as my wife explained, she's getting some very uncomfortable looks when she heads downtown to do chores and things in this car. Just kind of looks and feels a bit out of place in the local community, and we're already outsiders, so our thought was perhaps we need something a bit more farm appropriate. And so I've been doing some hunting around, and I've placed an order and got a call to say that it's in. So we've bought we've leased a truck, which certainly will do the job. I'm not really sure what I was looking for, so I've gone with a lease, and apart from helping spread the cost, it also means that we can see how we go with it, and if we come up with something more suitable down the track, or it doesn't really work on the farm, we can let it go and move to something else. So that's the rationale. Here we go back into town. Looks like our worker seems to be going all right on that field with the lawn mowing, so that's a good sign. I think all the rest of the equipment we'll hang on to for the moment, because one way or another, ultimately this area that's been cut today, I want to reseed, at least with grass, but possibly turn it into a proper field. So we'll just park this over here. Yeah. So if we come out here, I think is somewhere around here is where, there we go. We can return that one and return that one. And our BMW we will repair and repaint, and we can sell that one. So that tops up the coffers a little, which is handy. And if I'm not mistaken, our new truck is right here. So fancy looking Dodge. So that should do the trick quite nicely. We also need a couple of other things. So let's deal with those. Now, first, we're cutting the grass, but we need some hay, and that's going to require a tedder. And so that we don't have, because our mower gives us swaths, and I don't want a windrower for the moment. I'm thinking this L-hoe being quite cheap and not requiring much, we could operate in the same way as the mower. So I'm pretty keen to buy that one, because I'm pretty sure that either preserves the swath or creates its own, even though it's not particularly wide. And then the thought process was, because it only requires a relatively small horsepower, perhaps it's an opportunity to get a particularly small tractor, and the dealer here has indicated that he's quite happy to let us have this classic that he's been working on. So in the same sort of mode, and kind of I thought the way I looked at it was, well, this is kind of the tractor and the tedder pretty much swap out for the X5. So I think we'll take that one. Now, what I'm hoping is that can make its own way back. We will just get someone to deliver it for us. If we're going to go and get some cows, though, we're going to need a water tank. And I think for the moment, what do we need here to get some water? I think we'll go with, there's nothing in the sales, is there? No. Oops. I think we'll just go with this one, and we'll lease that for now. Because that's pretty cheap. $100 a day. You can't beat that, I don't think. And we will need a trailer to transport some cows. Yeah, the Flegel will do 6 cows. The Joskin will also do 6 cows. That's probably what we're going to have to go with until we can afford something. Standards look pretty good to me. I'm hoping it'll be the standard attacher. So we'll lease that one. And the last thing we need while we're here, but we'll send a tractor to pick it up, is a forage wagon. And to that end, we really are spoilt for choice. What's this one? 200 horsepower, 36.5 meters, 40 meters, 12 tons, 10 tons. I think we might go with this one, 220 horsepower. So let's grab that. We do want a silage additive tank. So we'll lease that. I think we'll make that comfortably from the silage that we can create over time, and we certainly don't need to keep it over the winter, and then possibly next year be in a position where we can afford one, because it'll probably be a kind of a standard thing. And we need some silage additive, which I seem to remember silage is 3,000 silage additives canister. It's only 25 litres, but the Pioneer tank is expensive, but it lasts a long time. So we'll grab that one. Yes. So I think that sorts us out. We will have to send the front loader down to pick up the trailer and the tank. But let's see how this all goes. I'm hoping this header will run on the back of here. That's always a bit of an experiment. That looks promising. It looks light. If we lower it down though, I think we'll be okay. That's a bit better. Take the weight off the front. So let's find out if we can get this successfully delivered back to the farm. Great job. Go to, what about here? There's a fair chance it'll get hooked up on something on the way. Now, back in here, let's go and organise ourselves. Yeah, pick the Aussie's gone to the wrong side of the vehicle. That sounds like a truck. Let's go and organise some calves. Now, where is the animal dealer? We're here. Is it over here somewhere? This road right here, I think. That's the sawmill. The livestock dealer. Okay, we're not far away at all. If we come out the front, we should be able to go straight across. What a nice interior here. That trailer's turning out of there all right. And that's the animal dealer up here on our right hand side. Yeah, how do we get into? Looks like if we pull in here, any luck? We should be able to organise ourselves, and I'm thinking if we start with some Angus, and let's get a full load of those, 1800, because we've got, I think it's 50 slots on our pasture. If we buy some calves every month, over time we'll build up a reasonable herd. We'll also put some mature animals in there just to accelerate, so we don't have to wait. From what I understand, it's around about 3 years before we get to the maximum price. So this is very much an investment, and we'll have to be patient in terms of turning it into some finance. Now, getting out of here could prove trickier than I thought. Back round into that garage. That would be a post. The depth perception gods got me again. Okay. Can we get to where we're going up here? Let's find out. I know we're over there on the on the hill. You can see our barn just up there and the house. So if we're lucky, this is a fairly direct run, and it appears that we were able to get our tedder successfully back. So that gives me some confidence I can send the same worker down with the tractor to pick up that forage trailer. So that's a good thing. Right. This little back street here. The locals certainly look after their gardens, which is always nice to see. That post on the corner, I'm sure, will be the source of many incidents over our time living here. So that's good. We're in good shape. It would appear our mower has gotten itself caught on something. We'll find out what that is. The fence by the looks. 2 headlands, just not quite enough to give it the space for the fence there. So we'll come and fix that in just a second. First of all, we'll go over here and pop our cows in. Now, will it? It'll probably want me. The actual trigger. I didn't put the gate where the trigger for the animals was, which was bad instructions to the contractor. Is that gonna? There we go. Move to husbandry. Perfect. Okay. So that's will do for that job. If we've got time later in the day, we'll go and get those done. Let's go and sort out our mower over here. Jump the fence. It's just that curve, isn't it? We'll just pause that for a second. There's a reasonable chance this will happen again, but you started somewhere down here, I'm guessing. That's coming along quite nicely. Now if we go, we can't easily automate the heading of the hay up here. I just wanted to check and make sure this is going to work. Let's lower you down. There we go. Excellent. So this will work quite nicely for just creating a little bit of hay up here. The grass that's been cut in the other field we'll go ahead and put into the fermenting silo to make some silage so that we can get some income coming in over the next few months, because that's going to be quite important to sort out our cash flow. Next month we should be able to harvest the corn in our field, but we may then have a wait until we get an opportunity to sell that for a good price. Certainly don't have any particular plans for the corn at this stage, so just a straight cash crop I think will be the initial approach. And the main reason for this hay at the minute is just to have some feed for those cows that we've just purchased. So this will at least give us something to get them fed and watered. So if we send the tractor down to the shop, we can, well, we might drive it down ourselves. It looks like we need to turn that mower off. It's going to get caught on the fence. Oh, actually, I wonder if I can edit the course to stop it doing that. That will be interesting. Let's see if that is an easy activity. So we'll just get back up here to the house. That will certainly be enough hay to get us started, and I can progress this through the course of the afternoon. Now, in order to edit the course, first of all, I have to save it. Which I might be able to do in here. If we create a new folder, which we'll call Griffin Okay, and we want to save and this is a CP1 mower. Let's call it JD mower. On the basis we'll get a larger mower later. Now, we need to exit. I need to clear that from the tractor. How do I clear that from the tractor? Clear current course. Okay, there's no course set now. So when I go then in here, I can open the course editor. And what you'll see are all the waypoints. Now, you can see just on the fence line here that it's quite obvious there's not enough turning room, but it dives in, whereas down here there was enough turning room. The headland, in fact, course would be a problem here because my headland goes outside the map. So what I can do just quickly to enable us to keep going, let's insert, this is move, so I can, there's a round circle, I hope you can see there on the ground. If I put that under the waypoint, I can move the waypoints very quickly and easily away from the fence. I can't remember the command. There is a way to select a line of waypoints, but this will do for the purposes of what we're trying to achieve here. And is a fairly simple way hopefully to stop that occurring. Now we'll give it one shot. Now if I select, I hold down shift, no it's not shift, no it's not alt, maybe it's right click. Shift right click, control right click, maybe it's in advanced. Here we go. Multiple way. So I can select you and you've gone pink, and I can select you. I have to select them all. Right. So I've selected the first one and the end one, and I can move the whole row of waypoints in from the fence. So for the purposes of what we needed, that gets us done. For today, that should be sufficient to allow me to get this course finished. So that's all we'll do. But yeah, you can see the pink. I've selected the first one I wanted to move, selected the second one, and then just dragged them into the field. So that's the editor. That's course is now edited. So if I go back to my track, I want to load that course. Oops. Let's try selecting it and loading it. Okay. No, we still didn't get it. Select, load, right. Activate. Now we've got the course and we can back up, turn the corner, and we should find, when we line up, that we will successfully have avoided that problem going forward. So as you can see, quite straightforward. and an easy way to simply adjust the course that you've got. So I hope that was useful. Let us leave the cattle trailer here for the moment, and we can send you back down to the shop. Chairs down here. Hopefully it'll let us, that will work. And we can grab, I can figure out where I've put it. And I think I put it in the shed over here. Managed to get the truck caught up before we've even started. Let's put some pallet forks on the front of here. I'm sure the shop has some pallet forks. Well, has a pallet truck, but I just don't feel our character knows him well enough or is confident enough to make use of that. So, you know, here we are in town. We're just waiting for the train. It's quite a lengthy one. We counted all the carriages, but there's certainly more than 10. What I'm hoping so if we get the bed of the truck and open it up. We should be able to put you in the back. These forks look like they are a problem. Might be shopping for a better set of pallet forks. There we go. That's in there like so. Put you on the forage wagon. That's all good. How successfully can you navigate back? I reckon the safest strategy here is for me to drive the forage wagon and send a worker with the truck. The next interesting test is whether that dam that's in the middle of the meadow is actually a water source. Whether we need to run an outlet off the house supply. So we'll find out in a minute. Set this to mission. Let's pop you here. So that's all good. We're making good progress on all the chores for today. I'll see you back at the house. We'll just put some of that hay in this forage wagon so that we can feed the animals, and that might be where we call it in. Now you'll notice as we come back up here, that Courseplay adjustment that we did has helped, because it's been able to continue on and finish the up and down section of that meadow, and is now working on the headlands. So that mower's going to go pretty close to finishing the job we set out, which is terrific. I'm not sure if this tractor has enough horsepower for this wagon, but I'm keen to just find out and see if we can pick up the hay. So let's put down we've got the right device. Are you lowered? You don't look lowered to me. That's interesting. Or maybe I've got to unfold it. That's better. And we're collecting hay. So yes, we do. Maybe we can't, we might struggle to pull it uphill, but we're certainly picking up hay, which is the first objective. So let's see here. I got a trigger here somewhere. Should have. There it is. So I'll put some hay in. We check on our cows now. 6 Angus. They're not producing milk. We're full up on it. Was 11,000. So we don't need TMR for them, as I understand it, until we're leading up to the time we want to sell them to get them to their maximum. So for now, hay will be doing just fine. We could feed them grass, but I just think it's more realistic to have them in a field where they would eat the grass. But if you were hand feeding them, it would be hay, or certainly my very limited experience in parts of Oz, even some grains. So we need to get some water over here. So we'll take care of that. In the meantime, we can put the rest of this hay into the silo here, and the drop point, I think, is right here. An interesting question will be, can we take hay out of that silo? For now, let's park you over here. Take the ute over the road. In Australia, we call these utes, and it looks like the mower has actually gotten stuck on an area of the course we didn't edit. So, now what am I doing? I need to get into that gate. Yeah, in Australia, a truck like this would typically be called a ute. Stands for utility. It's just what they've been since these sorts of vehicles existed some 50 years ago in Oz. Let's see here. Is this going to let me fill? Not there, it's not. Yes, it will. So while that's filling, hopefully, we will run over here. I may have thought it's finished, actually. What have we got there? It's done one headland. It's the second headland that's the problem. Oops, plenty of trees. Sorry about that, folks. So we just run round the outside here. Because I think in terms of today's jobs, this is pretty much the main bit that we wanted to get done. You can see one of the effects of Dusty Lands mod here is it does throw up dust because the cutter's in front of the cabin, which is quite a nice touch. But for now, we've been able to successfully get a whole range of things done. We've still got 74,000 based on the sort of the first day's rollover. Our day-to-day lease costs of all of the things that we've got are running at between 10 and 15,000. So we've got 6 months worth of funding there, and we know we've got a corn crop to sell and we'll have some silage to sell, so that's a good thing. But I think it's a good place to leave the activities for today. And when we come back next time, get to work and harvest that cornfield over there if it's ripe. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed our foray. Maybe you've got a tip or two about how to edit your Courseplay courses. I'm certainly no expert, but it's a pretty powerful tool to use if you're lucky enough to be on PC. So that's where we'll end it. Thanks for watching. See ya.